we're on.
We would like to welcome you to our regular city council meeting tonight and turn the time over to the mayor.
Connie, could you call roll? Very good, Steve.
Steve, you did a pretty good job, but you forgot the roll call. I knew that was coming.
We're starting.
Adamson.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Johnston.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Orr.
Here.
Black.
Here. Thank you. We'll move on to agenda item number 2 is
Pledge of Allegiance.
if you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, after which if you would remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by Pastor Carl Pettit from the First Baptist Church.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you join me in prayer? Father, as we gather today, we just want to say thank you for what you have done, what you're about to do, and what you've been doing in this city. God, give us wisdom and discernment as these leaders lead us through different decisions. And God, we pray for calming and cool heads as conversations may get heated. We just pray that you would be in this place. God, be with our leaders, be with our law enforcement, protect them as they protect us here in the city, God. We thank you for all you've done, and we just give you this time. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Carl. Move on to agenda item number 3 is a consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from City Council Strategic Planning Workshop of May 24, 2017, and Budget Development Meeting of May 25, 2017, and June 1, 2017. B, Treasurer's Report. Council may wish to consider the Treasurer's Report for May showing cash and investments as of May 31, 2017. Good evening, Joyce.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Joyce Stroshine, Chief Financial Officer for the city. Tonight I'm presenting the Treasurer's Report for the month of May 2017. Total cash and cash equivalents represent 87% of the city's monies, totaling $34,418,831. Total long-term investments represent 13% of city monies at $5,346,803 for a total cash equivalents, and long-term investments of $39,765,634. This amount is down $2,710,799 for the month of May. On page 2 of the report, I've highlighted some key receipts of the month. Airport grant, $51,630. Cable franchise fees, $57,702. This amount is down 6.63% from the prior year. Transit grant, state, Idaho. This is for February and partial for April remittance, $94,117. Transit grant federal for April, $102,289. Franchise fees, Intermountain Gas, $186,404. This amount is up 2.84% from the prior year. The remaining section details the net change in cash and long-term investments for the city for the month. Page 3 of the report, I report on the trust funds. Total cash and cash equivalents are $1,213,718. Total long-term investments, $4,739,881, for a total cash equivalents, and long-term investments of $5,953,599. Cash receipts for the month totaled $34,402. Disbursements for the month are $57,165, and net change in long-term investments is a decrease of $12,042 for an overall reported decrease of $34,825 for the month. On page 4 of the report, we list all the fund cash balances with the net change for the month, and I point out to you the general fund is at $7,618,560. On page 5 of the report, I provide discussion and analysis for your review, and on page 6 of the report lists the 5-year trend for all cash balances in all funds, and I note that the negative balances that are in Transit Urban, Business Improvement Fund, Debt Service Fund, Governmental, Federal Aid Projects Fund, and Airport Construction Fund and CDBG Fund are all covered by either pending grants or remittances that will come in the next month or tax receipts. This report continues to reflect a very strong position for the city. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Joyce? Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you.
Move on to agenda item C, Library Board of Directors reappointments. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Sharon Manning and Sandra Shropshire to continue their service as members of the Library Board of Directors. Both terms will begin July 1, 2017 and will expire July 1, 2022. Planning and Zoning Commission appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Sean Hargraves to serve as a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission, replacing Steve Long, whose term expired. Mr. Hargraves' term will begin June 22, 2017, and will expire July 22, 2021. E, ISU affiliation agreement, EMT training fire. Council may wish to approve an affiliation agreement with Idaho State University, ISU, that will allow Bannock County Ambulance District Pocatello Fire Department members to attend leadership training in exchange for clinical ride-along experience for ISU emergency medical technicians, EMT candidates. F, council decision zoning designation of parcel located between 2302 and 2350 East Terry Street. Council may wish to adopt its decision to approve an amendment of a zoning designation requested by Ruth S. Decker, comprising of 6.29 acres parcel located between 2302 and 2350 East Terry Street, and to be rezoned from residential estate RE to residential low density RL. G, council decision annexation and zoning request, Richards. Council may wish to adopt its decision to approve the annexation of approximately 7.09 acres of land extending the city corporate boundaries east of Running Iron Lane, and designate the property as residential medium-density single-family RMS zoning district. The property is owned by J&A Richards Family Management, LLC, Jake and Amber Richards.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Johnston and a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Johnston?
Yes.
Adamson?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 4, communication and proclamations. We have one proclamation tonight, and it will be read by Council Member Gary Moore.
Thank you, Mayor. And this is proclamation in recognition of General Aviation Appreciation Month. Whereas general aviation and community airports play a critical role in the lives of our citizens, as well as in the operation of our businesses and farms, and whereas the City of Pocatello has a significant interest in the continued vitality of general aviation, aerospace, aircraft manufacturing, educational institutions, aviation organizations, community airports, and airport operators, and whereas according to the 2010 Idaho Airport System Plan, the annual economic impact of general aviation in Idaho is over $426 million. The same report found that the total economic impact of aviation in Idaho is $2.1 billion, and Idaho's airports and visitors who arrive by air are responsible for 4% of the state's estimated gross domestic product. And whereas Idaho's general aviation airports create 4,096 jobs annually with an estimated payroll of $133 million, and whereas according to the Idaho Department of Transportation, approximately 23,000 residents of Idaho owe their jobs to the aviation industry, representing 2.9% of all jobs in the state, and whereas general aviation plays a vital role in the state's response to emergencies and natural disasters, and whereas many communities in Idaho depend heavily on general aviation and community airports for the continued flow of commerce, tourists, and visitors, now therefore, Brian C. Blatt, Mayor of the Pocatello, does hereby proclaim June 2017 to be General Aviation Appreciation Month.
Thank you. I'll say it.
a few words, that'd be great. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. David Allen, Pocatello Regional Airport Manager. Melvin Wagner was going to be here tonight from Av Center, but he is doing general aviation business right now, flying a charter. That's the nature of the beast. So I'm in here in his stead. General aviation does play a vital role in Southeast Idaho, and I think it's often overlooked. It's everything except for air service and military aircraft. And that includes not only the recreational leisure type person that people think about, but it's business jets, it's the charters, it's firefighting, both helicopter and aircraft. It's the cargo aircraft that bring in your FedEx shipments every night. And it's medical transport for not just patients, but even organs, organ transport and such. So there's many more things that they do, and it really does play a vital role that nobody pays attention to because it's happening behind the scenes, but the impact is great. And so I appreciate your recognition of general aviation for this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 5, calendar review. Council may wish to take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings and events that should be called to their attention. July 6th at 1 p.m. will be a council liaison working lunch. 6 p.m. will be a regular council meeting. July 13 at 9 a.m. will be a study session. June 18, Father's Day at the Zoo, Idaho. Fathers will receive a 50% discount off their admission when they are accompanied by a paid child. July 4, Portneuf Medical Center, Idaho Central Credit Union, and Idaho State University Independence Day Parade. There is a new parade route, so please go to the website so that you can see where the parade will be going. It is definitely changed this year. And then also July 4th, biggest show in Idaho fireworks display will be at the Bannock County Event Center or in the Portneuf Wellness Complex. As reminders, the city offices will be closed Tuesday, July 4th. However, trash and recycle collection will be on schedule Tuesday. Please be careful with fireworks. There are areas where fireworks are restricted. And I would like to just add as well, be respectful of your neighbors and the time of night when these fireworks are being let off. They are dangerous. They do scare a lot of people or a lot of animals. And people do have to go to work on the 5th and the 6th and the 7th. And so as we're lighting these fireworks off throughout the week, please be mindful. And I would recommend stopping lighting fireworks off no later than 10:30, 11 o'clock to give people some sleep. And then also Ross Park Band concerts on Sunday evening, June 25th through July 30th, 7 to 8 p.m. with those. So we'll move on to agenda item number 6, a child care license denial appeal, Hanson. Justin Hanson will be present to appeal the decision of police department staff which denied Mr. Hanson a child care license.
Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council. Janae Furman, licensing with the Pocatello Police Department. After careful consideration, the Pocatello Police Department denied Mr. Hanson a resident child care license because he admitted to smoking cocaine on February 8, 2014. Mr. Hanson was found guilty but used his withheld judgment, and he was placed on a 5-year term probation to be completed on June 5th of 2019. Questions?
Questions, council?
This is a felony violation?
Correct.
Any other questions?
Is he still on probation then?
Yes, it won't be completed until June 5th of 2019.
I'd like to hear from Mr. Hanson.
Mr. Hanson here. Perfect.
Appreciate y'all hearing me. I just want to say thanks to the council.
Justin, if you wouldn't state your name real quick.
Oh, Justin Hanson.
Thank you for the people at the audience. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to read this. All right. I want to thank the council for taking time to hear me. I'm hoping you can help. I was denied residential license in a home child care due to having admitted to using narcotics in the past. The code states anyone who admits to such offense cannot be in direct contact with children in child care settings. That's what I understood. I am a licensed contractor in the state of Idaho. Because of the nature of my employment, I work long hours, and I'm not home during much of the daycare operating hours, if any. I'm therefore not in direct contact with the children, nor am I a threat in any way to any child. I am asking you to please consider granting me a residential license. I should not be punished for having been honest about my past mistakes, which I have since rectified. It's ironic to me that if I had chosen to lie about the past choices, that I would not be standing before you today, and no code would have been violated because I followed my integrity. However, I'm asking for your help with this matter. Yes, sir.
Mr. Hanson, is the daycare in the home that you currently live in?
It's in her home, yes.
And this is...
I started living there until we heard this, and then I had to leave. I've been staying in Montpelier, but all my business is here in Pocatello. And also, furthermore, the probation, actually, they called me and I will be off probation by the end of this month. They're putting me up for discharge on my probation.
When it was a 5-year...
Yes. Yes.
Any other questions, council?
Well, any other, I mean, how, can I ask him how old he is?
I don't know. Can he ask how old he is?
Yeah, you can ask.
You can ask, he doesn't have to tell you.
Okay.
I am 45 years old.
45? Mm-hmm. What is there any other criminal history been, or offenses you've been charged with over the years?
Not of any of that nature. They were all traffic violation, little tiny things. And those were all long ago.
No other drug?
No, sir.
None whatsoever?
None.
One question, and this is kind of a hard one.
Okay.
I appreciate that you had the integrity to admit the truth.
Yes.
Where was the integrity when you did wrong?
It was a bad time. It was a bad time. And that was, since then, I've totally changed my ways, and I've been through so much counseling, and I'm still like best friends with my counselor now, and I'm not required to see or talk to any counselor, but we are in regular contact. And this is why I'm here today, is because I was talking to her about how it was, proposed I had to leave, and she didn't feel like that was right, and I should stand up and say something about it. I mean, if I was still that same person, I wouldn't even have been here today. There's not a chance I'd be here.
So who runs the daycare? Is it your wife, or who's running the daycare?
It's my girlfriend. She's my fiance, yes.
Okay. All right.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
Are you out of Bear Lake County?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a question for staff again when we're done with it.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Janae, could you come back up?
So would you agree with his comments that he has no criminal history other than the one drug conviction?
I would not. And that I have his criminal history here in front of me. Bear with me as I go through it and see what has been dismissed and what has not. Well, that's the first one I'm looking at here. It's in 2003, which is not a violation of the code because it's been over a 10-year period. The literal charge was possession of drug paraphernalia, narcotic equipment possession. Offense text is cocaine possession. And he was convicted of that charge. See if I can tell you where that's taking place. Arresting agency was Murray, Utah.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to continue?
No, I don't think so.
One question.
Okay.
If this probation is fulfilled and dismissed, then the charges would be dismissed?
Yes, he took a withheld judgment.
And so then that goes away. So next month, this is a moot point.
Correct.
Okay. So let me ask, along those lines, let me ask you another question. Would it be reasonable to think that we could put because of the circumstances, restrictions where he maintains he's not in the home when there are children in there, could we make that contingent on his license? That 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, there are children in the house that he cannot be there during those times, and that we could look to enforce that? Or would that be asking too much from the enforcement people?
Not necessarily. I mean, I do random inspections. I'm sure we can make that contingent on his license.
Would you be comfortable with something like that?
Would I be comfortable with
Yeah.
it? So basically my inspections are about twice a year unless there's a complaint. The health inspector goes in once a year and the fire inspector goes in once a year.
Okay.
So we're looking at about 4 times a year.
Okay.
Unless there's a complaint.
But this is one, if we put some special circumstances on this, I would look at a lot like maybe drug testing for a year, that you might just have to do a couple of extra checks. That's what I'm asking. Is that possible to do that?
That's possible, definitely.
Okay. All right.
So if we take action tonight and deny this, then he can't reapply for a year, right?
Correct.
So if we take no action tonight and he is dismissed next month, and he could, because we took no action, could he reapply next month?
I'm getting a legal opinion here on that.
If I may, but if the council doesn't take any action tonight, what's going to end up happening is the decision by the police department will stand, which is a denial.
Okay.
And so in essence, the denial stands
either way.
Either way,
Okay.
just because of where we are procedurally. If the council were, I don't want to say the word table, but if the council were not to take any action, it stays the way it is now, which is a denial.
So could we postpone this decision, make a motion to postpone this until next month?
The council is free to, whatever motion council members want to pose, and yes, you could. There's nothing hard and fast, just the question of if you wanted to do that. I mean, at this point, the problem is, though, the actual impact would be that it stands as a denial. Even if you don't take any action tonight or you postpone it, what stays on the books, if you will, is the denial, which prevents him from being able to be in
For a month.
for a
Be at
month.
the house for a month.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going to say what my
I
problem
think you make a motion that included if he's expunged, then the license.
Well, that's
Okay, Roger.
my dilemma. I have 2 dilemmas. One is that he was given the chance tonight to tell us about his history, and he did not tell us his full story. The second part of this is that makes me doubt whether he's coming off probation for sure or not. I know it's been articulated, but I'm not sure, because we caught 2 discrepancies there. I would say that if we would postpone this until August, because that should cover the time period he's given us, and it lets him to have a chance to come off, then we could hear this again. You know, we just postpone it till then. Make sure he's had this ample opportunity to come off, and that's expunged, it goes away, and then we can decide then.
Councilwoman.
I don't really understand what the point is of prolonging it and having it come back. I feel like what I understood when Mr. Hansen was standing up there was, this is like an isolated incident, this is not who I am, and then clearly it seems like that's maybe not entirely the case.
Correct.
And so I don't feel comfortable with it. I mean, these are kids we're talking about in the daycare. If I'm sending my kid to that daycare, I would want to know that somebody had reviewed it, and I feel like we need to back up the police department in their decision. I don't feel like Janae's taking this decision and making it lightly just to, you know, cause a problem for somebody. I feel like she's really reviewing it and making the best decision based on the information she's got in front of her. So based on that, I think we should uphold the police department's decision and deny the request.
And is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Adamson. I wasn't ready for that. Adamson, and a second by Moore. The motion is to uphold the police department's decision. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Adamson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Johnston,
No.
Orr.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes, and the decision of the police department is upheld. Thank you. We'll move on to agenda item number 7, public hearing, CDBG Program Year 2016 Annual Report. As required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, this time has been set aside for council to consider any comments from the public concerning Program Year 2016 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER. CAPER. The report was available for public review from May 25 to June 15, 2017. After review of the recommendation of approval by the CDBG Advisory Committee. Following the public hearing, council may wish to approve the report and authorize the submittal, including a summary of the public input to HUD on or before June 28, 2017. I declare the public hearing open.
Good evening, council members. I'm Melanie Gigley, Planning and Development Services Director. As the mayor read, this hearing is to allow oral comment on our end-of-year report, the CAPER, which for the year that ended March 31st, it was Pocatello's 20th year as an entitlement city. In this program year, we performed affordable housing activities, including there were 4 new homes sold and occupied by low to moderate income households. We completed, just on the city side, 10 sidewalk reconstruction projects throughout low to moderate income areas. A total of about 27, I think, home rehabs between us and our partner NeighborWorks Pocatello. We also did some other subrecipient projects for Aid for Friends, the Community Rec Center, and Family Services Alliance. We did not complete 2, one for New Day Products and Bannock Youth Foundation, partly because of the long, cold, snowy winter and the fact that we got our federal funds so late.
It was here Monday.
We actually leveraged over $700,000 funding while we used about $520,000 of federal dollars and program income. And these contracts go almost entirely to smaller local businesses. We remain in compliance with general CDBG standards and regulations. Our timeliness is good. Our spending parameters for program admin and program services or public services is good. Again, as stated, the draft CAPER has been available since May 16th. No comments have been received to date, and any comments from tonight would be included in the report that's submitted to HUD. That concludes what I have for you, unless I can answer questions.
Council, any questions?
It's been a great program for our town.
I think we've done a remarkable job, especially given that we don't get a huge amount of money. I think we managed to do a terrific job of this.
Thank you. For the record, clerk, did we have anyone reach out to you?
No, sir.
Okay, sounds good. Then I would ask for any of those testimony in support of the application. Any testimony uncommitted to the application? Any testimony by those opposed to the application? Okay, then I see no reason for a rebuttal of any sort, so we will just go to I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item is before you. How do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Moore?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the report and authorize its submittal, including a summary of all public input to HUD on or before June 28, 2017.
Second.
Okay, we had a motion by Moore and a second by Orr. Connie, could you please call the roll? Or just squeezed him out just a hair. I mean.
Moore,
Yes.
Orr,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes. Did you notice that was in order today?
It was, wasn't it, across the, that's right.
That was for the benefit of the viewing audience.
That's right. Agenda item 8, public hearing, proposed fiscal year 2017 June budget amendments. This time has been set aside to receive public comment on proposed amendments to the fiscal year 2017 budget. I declare the public hearing open.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Joyce Stroshine, Chief Financial Officer of the city. The 2017 budget adopted in August of 2016 was developed with anticipated grants and estimated revenues. The council elects to adopt a restrictive budget and amend in detail for unplanned revenues and expenses. Tonight, the Finance Department is requesting additional budget authority for expenditures related to unforeseen revenues and expenses in 14 funds. It is also important to understand that a cash movement between funds requires additional budget authority, even though no actual cash payment will be made by the city. 6 of the 38 entries are transfers of monies between funds. Tonight, hang on just a second. The total for all the amendments is $2,815,886. This amendment process began with the 2 required public notices on May 31st and June 7th in the Idaho State Journal. I provided a detailed discussion on the June 8th study session, and after the public hearing and at the end of tonight's meeting, the council will consider the amended ordinance. This concludes my presentation.
Any questions, council?
No.
Okay, thank you. Has there been any written correspondence?
I have not received anything.
No, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. And I would look for any testimony supporting the application. Any testimony uncommitted to the application. Any testimony opposed to the application. Well, there is no reason for you to rebut either. And so with that, I declare the public hearing closed. As a reminder, there is an ordinance prepared at the end of the meeting for consideration, council. We'll move on to agenda item 9, interactive shooting simulator bid police. Council may wish to accept the recommendations of staff and approve a bid from Milo Range FAAC Incorporated for an interactive shooting simulator in the amount of $59,795, and if approved, authorize the mayor to sign related documents subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor.
Funds for the purchase are available in the Capital Contingency Fund as discussed at April 13, 2017 study session. Councilman Orr.
I would move that we approve agenda item number 9 on interactive shooting and authorize the mayor to sign legal documents upon subject to legal review.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Orr and a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Moore.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 10, professional services agreement with TO Engineers, airport improvements. Council may wish to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a professional services agreement with TO Engineers, subject to legal department review. The contract fee is a max of lump sum and time and materials cost not to exceed $247,095. Scope of work include project management for the following projects at the airport. A, design and reconstruction of 2 taxi lanes. B, design and construction of service and pavement maintenance for runways 3-21 and 17-35, and C, procurement of snow removal truck with plow and materials spreader, and D, geotechnical exploration of runway 3-21 to determine pavement condition. Funding for the agreement will come from a federal grant, 93.75%, and local match monies, 6.25%, provided by airport PFC funds.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve this professional services agreement that we authorize the mayor to sign, subject to legal department review.
Second.
That was good. That was good. Thank you. They've been playing a game up here, seeing who can say it first. So we got a motion by Bray and a second by President Brown. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11, professional services agreement with JHS Architects, Zoo Idaho Entrance Gift Shop. Council may wish to consider the recommendations from Parks and Recreation Department and Zoo Idaho staff and a request from the Idaho Zoological Society to approve a professional services agreement with JHS Architects, PA, for the schematic design, construction documents, bidding and negotiation, and construction administration for the zoo entrance gift shop. Funds for the amount are available in the zoo fiscal year 2017 budget.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the recommendation from the Parks and Recreation Department for this architectural company, subject to any legal department review and your signature.
Second.
We have a motion by Johnston and a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Johnston.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, we have 4 ordinances. 12A, an ordinance which annexes a parcel of land comprised of approximately 7.09 acres owned by J&A Richards Management, LLC, CO Jake and Amber Richards. The parcel is located east of Juniper Hills Country Club and will be zoned residential medium-density single-family RMS with a comprehensive plan designated of residential. Council, how do you wish this ordinance to be read? Quickly.
This has to be read in detail.
Sundry, doesn't it?
Well, under rules of suspension, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Council President Brown.
I move that we do something. I thought I had it.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you. Right here. I move that the ordinance agenda item number 12A be read only by title on 3. No, it's just title. Be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
Second.
Do we have a motion by President Brown and a second by Orr? Connie, could you please call the roll?
Brown.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Rich, could you please read the ordinance?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Pocatello, Municipal Corporation of Idaho, annexing and zoning a parcel of land extending the city corporate boundaries east of Juniper Hills Country Club, more particularly described as follows. A tract of land located in the southeast quarter of Section 17, Township 7 South, Range 35 East, Boise Meridian, Bannock County, Idaho, beginning at the south 16th corner on the Meridional center line of Section 17, Township 6 South, Range 34 East, Boise Meridian, said corner being marked by a 2-inch aluminum cap per corner, perputation and filing recorded as instrument number 8123665 in the records of Bannock County, said point being on the present City of Pocatello city limits as described in ordinance number 1962, which was passed and approved on the 19th day of April 1979. Thence north, 0 degrees, 34 minutes, 58 seconds east. Base of bearing is the central meridian of the east zone of the Idaho State Plan coordinate system along the meridional center line of Section 17, the same being the current City of Pocatello city limits per ordinance number 1962, a distance of 192.93 feet. Thence north, 51 degrees, 57 minutes, 37 seconds. East, leaving the existing City of Pocatello limits and following along the northerly boundary of a line of parcel of land belonging to J.A. Richard Family Management, LLC, per warranty deed recorded as instrument number 216057174 in the official records of Bannock County, a distance of 262.93 feet to a point on the left bank of the Portage River, said parcel being on the northerly boundary line of said parcel. Thence following said parcel and the left bank of the Portage River as is described in the record of survey for Juniper Hills Country Club recorded as instrument number 203229013 in the official records of Bannock County over the following 10 courses. Course number 1, south 64 degrees, 41 minutes, 57 seconds east, a distance of 62.84 feet. Number 2, north, 87 degrees, 25 minutes, 2 seconds east, a distance of 84.55 feet. 3, north, 45 degrees, 25 minutes, 28 seconds east, a distance of 67.95 feet. 4, north, 29 degrees, 28 minutes, 29 seconds east, a distance of 128.05 feet. 5, north, 79 degrees, 24 minutes, 41 seconds east, a distance of 46.65 feet. 6, south, 84 degrees, 18 minutes, 44 seconds east, a distance of 112.76 feet. 7, south, 7 degrees, 21 minutes, 33 seconds east, a distance of 143.46 feet. 8, south, 9 degrees, 41 minutes, 37 seconds east, a distance of 88.72 feet. 9, south, 33 degrees, 41 minutes, 46 seconds east, a distance of 150.72 feet. 10, south, 60 degrees, 28 minutes, 37 seconds east, a distance of 110.4 feet to a point of non-tangency with a 769.32 foot radius curve whose center bears south 19 degrees 48 minutes 1 second east. Said parcel is laying on the northerly boundary of a parcel of land belonging to the corporation of the presiding bishop of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, described as special warranty deed recorded as instrument number 683108 in the official records of Bannock County. Thence, along said curve in a southwesterly direction through a central angle of 46 minutes, 39 minutes, 32 seconds, with an arc length of 626.50 feet. The chord of said curve bears south 46 degrees, 52 minutes, 13 seconds west, a distance of 609.33 feet to a point of non-tangency on the easterly boundary of a parcel of land described belonging to the corporation of the presiding bishop of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, described as special warranty deed recorded as instrument number 903009461 in the official records of Bannock County. Thence north, 8 degrees, 6 minutes, 35 seconds west along the easterly boundary of said parcel of land, a distance of 19.00 feet to the southeasterly corner of a parcel of land belonging to R. Kim and Dana T. Smith, as described in warranty deed recorded as instrument number 201000638 in the official records of Bannock County. Thence continuing north, 8 degrees, 6 minutes, 35 seconds west along the easterly boundary of said parcel, a distance of 322.25 feet to a point of the south 1/16th line of section 17, said point being a northeastern corner of the Smith property. Thence, south, 89 degrees, 58 minutes, 4 seconds west along the southern 16th line and along the northerly boundary line of the Smith property, a distance of 339.95 feet to the present city of Pocatello city limits as described in ordinance number 1962, said point being the point of beginning. Said parcel contains 7.02 acres, more or less. Providing for the city clerk to file a certified copy of this ordinance with the Idaho State Tax Commission and with the Bannock County auditors, treasurers, and assessors in accordance with Idaho Code sections 50-223 and 632215, providing for said land to be zoned residential medium density single family RMS and the comprehensive plan map designated B residential, and providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. The rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions having been dispensed with.
I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass?
Adamson?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12B, an ordinance changing the designation zone of 6.29 acres of property located between 2302 and 2350 East Terry Street from residential estate RE to residential low RL density. Council, how do you wish to have this ordinance read?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Bray?
Mr. Mayor, I move that ordinance agenda item number 2B, read only 12B, be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Johnston. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Orr.
Now let me think about that. No. Yes.
You were so practiced.
Thank you. Rich, could you please read the ordinance?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Pocatello, a municipal corporation of Idaho, changing the designation zone of 6.29 acres of property located between 3202 and 2350 East Terry, Pocatello, Idaho, from residential estates RE to residential low RL density, more particularly described as follows: west 1/2 of Section 30, Township 6, South Range 35, East Boys Meridian, Bannock County, Idaho, providing that the official zoning map be amended to incorporate this rezoning, providing for the repeal of all ordinance in conflict herewith, and providing that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. The rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions having been dispensed with.
I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass?
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Orr.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12C, an ordinance enacting Chapter 12.02 Public Improvement Standards in the revised and compiled ordinance of the City of Pocatello 1983, establishing regulations requiring design review and approval process for public infrastructure and the application of best management practices, adopting the Public Works Design Principles Standards Manual, Idaho Standards for Public Works Construction, ISPWC, and Pocatello revisions to the ISPWC, and providing for misdemeanor penalties for violations. Council, how do you wish this ordinance to be read?
Mayor,
Councilwoman Adamson.
I move that the ordinance agenda item 12C be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
I second that. And she did such a good job. We should have her do it more often.
She did a good job. We have a motion by Councilwoman Adamson and a second by Councilmember Johnston.
Adamson.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Orr.
Yes.
Thank you. Rich, could you please read the ordinance?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Pocatello, a municipal corporation of Idaho, enacting Chapter 12.02 Public Improvement Standards in the revised compiled ordinances of the City of Pocatello in 1983, establishing regulations requiring design, review, and approval process for public infrastructure and the application of best management practice, adopting the Public Works Design Principles and Standards Manual, Idaho Standards for Public Works Construction, ISPWC, and the Pocatello revisions to the ISPWC, providing for the misdemeanor penalties for violations, and providing that this ordinance and provisions contained herein established pursuant to this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. The rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions having been dispensed with.
I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass?
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Orr.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12D, an ordinance approving an amendment to fiscal year 2017 appropriation ordinance, increasing the total fiscal year expenditures by $53,678,233 to account for additional revenues, including grant funds received by the city, and to use previously unappropriated cash balances for unanticipated expenditures occurred by the city. Council, how do you wish this ordinance to be read? Councilmember Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the ordinance agenda item number 12D be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that the entire ordinance be published.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Johnston. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Thank you. Rich, could you please read the ordinance?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Pocatello, a municipal corporation of Idaho, amending ordinance number 2970, the appropriation ordinance for the fiscal period October 1, 2016 through September 30th, 2017, providing for an increase in expenditures in the general fund, liability insurance fund, street fund, recreation fund, cemetery fund, airport fund, library fund, transit rural fund, transit urban fund, employee wellness fund, public works director fund, fire apparatus fund, capital acquisition fund, and the Parks and Rec Development Trust Fund, which increases the total fiscal year expenditures by $2,815,886, providing that the revenue to pay for such increases shall be derived from transfers, grants, unexpected revenues, and previously unappropriated cash balances, providing that all other portions of the appropriation ordinance number 2970 not herein shall remain in full force and effect, providing that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. The rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions having been dispensed with.
The mayor has a question, Joyce.
Before we do anything here, Joyce, I have a question really quick. And I apologize, I should have picked this up earlier and asked this question. But in 12D, year expenditures, it says increasing the total fiscal year expenditures by $3 million.
It's an increase of $2,815,000. The total, if you look at all the 14 funds, the total amount moves to the $53 million. So it's not an increase of $53 million. It's just that the total then is composed of $53 million with the original plus the increase.
So the total amount of the increase we are talking about is $2,815,886. Not the, okay. I just wanted to be clear so people at home are clear that we are not increasing $53 million.
And that would be correct. That would give me a heart attack.
Mayor, $2,050 million.
Yeah, that's it. My heart about stopped for a second up here. So.
And I was looking at that as I looked at that entry, and I thought, okay, it really was saying kind of 2 things here.
Yeah.
And so yes, that's a good clarification.
So how do we change that to make it reflect?
It's in the ordinance.
It's in the ordinance. I just wanted to make sure and make it clear for the people at home that.
Yes, and if you go to the second page of the ordinance, that's where you'll see that total.
Yeah.
So we'll do a
Perfect.
clarification in the minutes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Joyce.
Yep. Where are we at?
Shall the ordinance pass?
Shall the ordinance, okay, I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass?
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 13 is discussion items. This time has been set aside to hear discussion items not listed on the agenda. Items which appear somewhere else on the agenda will not be discussed at this time. The council is not allowed to take any official action at this meeting on matters brought forward under this agenda item. Items will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled on a subsequent agenda. You must sign in at the start of the meeting in order to be recognized. As a reminder, there is a time limit of 3 minutes per person. We have one person that signed up, Dr. Mike Riley.
Congratulations, Mike, on getting that doctorate.
That sounds good to be able to say doctor there, doesn't it?
Got a smile on it.
You just want to pull up this way. Can you give me my camera if he does that? Or do we need to pull this up? Okay.
There you go. Are you going to introduce us to your new dog?
Yes, I am. That was the point of the discussion.
Okay.
This is Marshall. He's a 1-year-old Belgian Malinois, and he's working out quite well. The purpose of the brief discussion today is just to let you all know for the last 9 months I've been working with him in public. The citizens have done really well with not petting him, not interfering with the training of him, and so parents and adults, parents for their kids and adults have done really well with respecting his work environment So I wanted to just give a shout out to my fellow citizens that we're doing really well in that regard. I've seen a lot of dogs on leashes in the city, which is also a good thing. Other dog handlers have given us a little extra space so that he's not upset by other dogs getting too close and distracting him, so that's also a good thing. I also want to point out that Winco, the staff at Winco has also made a safe training environment for him to work in and learn how to be in a grocery store without touching things. So that is actually the first store that he ever went into. So he looks forward to going on Sunday morning and going shopping. So he doesn't touch anything, he doesn't shoplift. Anything like that. He does browse in the dog food aisle where he's allowed to browse, but he's got to just be careful as well when he's doing that.
Mike, you have 1 minute.
Yes. And so what I wanted to just impress upon people is let's keep doing those good things. Let's keep letting him have his workspace. I know I'm going to have some discussions with the mayor and some department heads about an appropriate response with first responders. I appreciate the fact of having that opportunity to have that discussion. And the goal is to make sure that he has a productive, safe work environment. And so I'm looking forward to continuing that discussion. And thank you very much for letting me speak. And I've got to tell you, in closing, he's the smartest dog I've ever trained. And I'm grateful to the retired canine officer that found him for me. And I appreciate the opportunity to present that to you today.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. Riley. And it does sound good to be able to call you that, by the way.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, that concludes our meeting. So thank you for attending tonight. And with that, we are adjourned.